What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word video games? I'm sure that most of you who are watching this video will think about the vast world of video games itself. Some might even think of how it serves as an entertainment for a lot of people around the world. Some others might think of how it has impacted many people's lives positively or even negatively. The world of video games have never ceased to amaze us with what it has to offer to a lot of us. Yet, just like everything else in the world, it has its pros and cons. Good day, dear audiences. My name is Toby Manurung, a Year 12 science student from Senior High School of BPK Penabur, Bandar, Lampung. I'm so grateful that you've decided to spend some time watching this video. I'm also thankful for the committee of PLC 2020 for giving me the chance to share my ideas. In the next 5 minutes, let's find out the good and the bad sides of video games in general. Each year, the world of video games is constantly evolving, and there's no sign that it will stop anytime soon. According to Newzoo statistic, there are more than 2.7 billion gamers worldwide, and the numbers will only grow. However, no matter how great or substantial the statistic around the world of video games, all of us should be aware of the pros and cons of playing video games nonetheless. Firstly, let's talk about the benefits of playing video games. Video games help us improve our visions, for starter, as we need to distinguish varieties of colors, especially when you try to build a building in Minecraft. Of course, you want to have multiples of colors so that your building looks more aesthetic or at least appealing. It can also help us build our social skills, especially when we're playing multiplayer games with other people, like playing Clash of Clans, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and other multiplayer games. Other than that, various studies shows that by playing video games, we're slowing the aging process of our brains. Lastly, video games help us improve our decision-making skills, as we need to make a lot of decisions during gameplay. This is especially true for RTS games, which is a real-time strategy game, where you need to make a lot of decisions so that you will get the upper hand against your enemies or other players. Okay, those are the pros of playing video games. Now, let's talk about the downsides of playing video games in general. Firstly, it can pose various health problems, especially after playing video games for a prolonged period of time, like carpal tunnel syndrome, where you find that your wrist is having an issue after playing too much video games, especially when you try to use a mouse. Or maybe other problems like obesity, where you sit for hours on ends without realizing that you might have obesity. And also, the third problem is backaches, which most of us can relate to, especially people who work for a long time and sitting, and other problems. Secondly, by playing video games too much, we often forget about our responsibilities like doing our school assignment or finishing up a project. Other than that, through playing video games, we also isolate ourselves from the rest of the world, where we forget to interact with the people that we truly care about. Those are all the pros and cons that we should think about when we decide to play video games. But don't worry, there are things that you and I can do to minimize the harms from playing video games. First and foremost, set a dedicated time for playing video games. Know when you should play video games and know when not to. Second, don't forget to exercise your body after a session of playing video games. This will keep your body active, which is essential for you to have a healthy life, so that you won't suffer any health problems from playing too much video games. Last but not least, don't forget to socialize with other people by going outside, since video games can keep us isolated from the real world interaction. But since it's the pandemic, we don't have to interact with people outside of our house. Just maybe spend some time with the family in your house, just talk with them and socialize with them. To conclude, we have to be mindful when it comes to playing video games by knowing both the benefits and downsides, and also don't forget to follow the tips that I've shared to minimize the negative effects of playing video games. Thank you for your attention. Have a great day.